What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with some Destiny and Bungie news. Bungie are back with the weekly blog post for a Thursday. This time it's called TWAB, which of course is this week at Bungie and not this week in Destiny. Although Bungie do speak about TWID and their commitment to continued Destiny comms and specific updates that will drop for both Destiny and Marathon, their upcoming projects. So that in itself is interesting. Also, Bungie do actually speak about Frontiers. Safe to say nothing absolutely major here, but they mention it and their plans to reveal much more in the near future. So there's that, as well as some Heresy updates, info about restrictions and bans in Destiny 2, and a few other roundups. So right here, we'll talk about it, guys. If you enjoyed the video or find it useful, of course, I am the news bringer. Safe to say there'll be a mixture of it from the blog post today. But if you do find it helpful, a rating below really helps us on the channel. And otherwise, let's get into it. So as we can see this week at Bungie, and they say Marathon is on our doorstep, plus Destiny 2 has reached the conclusion of Heresy's storyline. It's been a while, hasn't it? Not since the last blog entry, but since our last TWAB. I think it's been, what was it, a couple of years ago they changed the name to the TWID. But they go on to say in just a few short days you'll be seeing your first glimpse of Marathon gameplay, so we thought we'd dust off the TWAB for old time's sake. And next, for the first time in a decade, Bungie say we'll be showing off gameplay from a yet-to-be-released title outside of Destiny, and for the first time in our history, we'll be running a live service game at the same time as showing off a brand new game, which is in development. We're in uncharted waters here, folks. A new page in our history. To say we're excited would be a severe understatement. If you missed it over the last week, players around the globe decoded images, messages, and audio files to uncover the save the date for the Marathon gameplay showcase, which is coming April 12th at 10 AM Pacific. They reiterate there is a teaser trailer for that, but go on to say, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's set some expectations for a world where Bungie is shipping 2 games. Firstly, the TWAB isn't here to stay, and we wish to find a balance with sharing all the goods between 2 games, but the ways in which we communicate will differ, so some things will work great for Marathon, where they may not for Destiny and vice versa. Each game and community will have unique needs, and we're excited for the challenge of finding a good balance. So in terms of where their heads are at, they say, for Destiny, the TWID will continue as expected, and while we're examining the communication pipelines and the ways in which we talk with you about Destiny development, we'll still be looking to give you blog updates at a regular cadence. We have many thoughts on how we can expand, such as more microblogs, short-form video content, playtest snippets, and we're building out a plan and starting to flex our muscles here, but players should expect updates in the coming weeks on how we'll evolve, and they say let us know what you'd like to see more of and where you'd like to see it. Our team is jamming away at codename Frontiers and Apollo, and we're chomping at the bit to share more details with you on our upcoming expansion, but we need just a little more time, Guardians. We promise that you'll have more info soon. So that's the first mention really about Frontiers and Apollo. It's interesting they say codenames Frontiers and Apollo. Of course, Frontiers is kind of an umbrella codename for the next 2 expansions in the year ahead. Or at least that was our understanding of it based on what Bungie last said. But sort of a teaser there that there will be more of an in-depth conversation, an actual reveal of some sort soon. Later in the blog post, they actually referred to Frontiers coming later in 2025, and given the speculation about the release date for Frontiers, immediately some folks on social media started speculating about a further delay for the expansion. Bungie actually came in and clarified on Twitter right here. They said, don't read too deep into that wording, it's still coming in the summer, and we'll change the language in the article to avoid further anxiety. So given the speculation and the lack of real communication about precisely when we're going to get it from Bungie, this is actually a relatively significant update at the moment to know that it's still going to be coming in the summer of this year. Of course, that window is a little bit broad still. It could be any time really up until September, presumably, on that basis, but all importantly, they have essentially confirmed here that we won't be looking at a significant delay, it coming in the fall or the end of 2025. Summer is still the timeline for the next Destiny expansion, and probably that lends further to the concept that we will indeed get a reveal for Frontiers in the relatively near future, probably after they've spoken about Marathon and got past the next sort of couple of weeks, maybe around the time the Ride of the Nine is happening. Speculation aside though, summer 2025, we are still getting a Destiny expansion, which is a hugely important update, so that's good to know. Give us your thoughts below. Otherwise, they say after Saturday, Marathon will begin its own journey, and they also link a Discord server for Marathon, as well as social media channels, and they say that's where we'll be focusing for a bit here. We'll have more details on Marathon comms in the coming weeks, but for now, all eyes are on the Saturday reveal. In terms of that reveal, they say With all the notes above, we almost forgot. We have a new and cool Destiny 2 emblem to share. It says here it comes from a star system relatively close to Sol, only 12 light years away, and it's inspired by this very cool game called Marathon. So if players watch 15 minutes of the gameplay trailer on April 12th between 10 AM and 12 Pacific, they'll earn the Destination Tau Ceti emblem in Destiny 2, and any Twitch channel in the Marathon directory will be eligible for that. So new emblem coming up for those who wish to grab it, but they say that's not all. We'll also have a special Twitch badge available for anyone who subscribes to a creator in the Marathon directory from April 11th. And that's the one you can see on screen right there. So those are the kind of Marathon bits for the upcoming reveal. And the TWAB this week is unique in the fact that, of course, this is a major reveal for Bungie, and they want to get as many eyes on that as possible. Plus, there'll be separate conversations about both of those titles in the future, so they're kind of setting the precedent for how this is going to work a little bit. And now on to more of the Destiny stuff. They reference the conclusion of Act 3, and they say over the course of this episode we lost Eris and fought her killer, found out Oryx was back as the Echo of Navigation, tried to keep him apart from his two sisters, and contacted Eris in her very own throne world, then helped her capture the Echo. On Tuesday we fought back once more and closed the chapter in what many have called a Hive civil war, but if we can say one thing for sure, the knife epithet fits the Guardian very well. With Heresy's narrative arc complete though, it's time to prepare for what's to come, and we'll start with Ride of the Nine in a few weeks, a very special reprise of Dungeons, and then move to our next big content drop, codenamed Frontiers, coming later in 2025. We'll have a lot more to share with you all in the coming weeks, and of course Bungie stating that it comes later in 2025, I guess that will just continue the speculation about precisely when Frontiers is going to drop. For now though, they say focus on finishing the plethora of content that Heresy still has. The title, earning heretical weapons, unlocking and crafting the incredibly strong and circular Barrow Dyad, and they also point out that there are a handful of Bungie rewards including a Heresy displate and other items that players have until May 6th to earn. So I'll link the TWID down below if you do want any of the links for those. Otherwise, they say Trials will be back on April 11th with Exalted Truth as the featured reward, and of course Double Crucible rewards are active this week, so gonna be good for anyone who wants to jump into that. They also add that the map will be Eventide Labs, and I believe that Trials will be featured for the next 3 weekends. Then we'll have Iron Banner starting on the 29th of April for the 3rd time in the episode. Otherwise in the TWID, there is an update regarding restrictions and bans policies, so they do say previously, all actions against accounts needed to be manually approved by a Bungie employee, which could create some big lag between cheaters being detected and exited from the game, but they are introducing a new automated process to ban players, which is certainly interesting. We understand that there will be some anxiety around this process, but our team isn't just sending a robot out to wreak havoc on our player base. We're building these detections from the ground up, training our robot to identify and action cheaters, and we'll even be auditing actions from time to time to ensure it hasn't gone rampant. If we find inconsistencies or improper actions taken, we'll be sure to reverse punishments immediately and fix up any issues that are found. To say it in more professional terms, automated processes are developed by Bungie, rigorously reviewed, and validated prior to implementation to assure appropriate actions are taken. And so they'll be monitoring it, otherwise they say keep it clean, and if you don't wish to be banned or suspended, follow the rules. If you think there's a hiccup, submit an appeal ticket. Sometimes detections or actions can still take time, so we ask for your patience, but we're looking to do right by our players in our unending efforts to keep cheats, toxicity, and abuse out of Destiny 2, so that's an interesting update, an automatic banning process being introduced here. And we'll have to see how that pans out, I guess. One component is that Destiny's been around for quite a while, which has given Bungie plenty of time and data with which to sort of train this process, so hopefully it will be a successful one. Otherwise, they say that's the TWAB over. While we're full steam ahead on Destiny and can't wait to show you more of what's coming, we are incredibly hyped to see what Marathon has been cooking up. Join us in the excitement on Saturday and we'll show gameplay for Marathon for the very first time. So there we go, that is the TWID. Quite an interesting one this week, I should have said TWAB. And good to get a little clarification about the summer timeline for codename Frontiers, so give us your thoughts about that, guys. If you've enjoyed the video or found it useful, a rating below really does help us out on the channel, but otherwise, cheers for watching, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.